had one good conversation. It was about 3 hours. And then after that, we started growing on each other. And then, she became one of my top women. But because it was kind of late in production's mind, it was hard to get us on dates. That's why I only had one date with her on camera. And those dates matter, because the more dates you get with a person, especially when we're closed in for COVID, the more, they're going to get to know you, the more affection, you can get to touch them and be with them. You can only do so much from the phone. And, I think that kind of hurt things within there. The niche market, I'm looking there. Niche market is just a term I use. My sister's on here. I call her, she's in a niche market. She's a niche market dater. She dates a certain type of guy. He has to be on her path emotionally, in her energy and things of that nature, or she won't date that guy. Me personally, I give most women a chance. You don't have to be directly on my level or what I'm going through right now. I'll give you a chance if if we click and we having a good time together and you're a good woman. So I don't have a niche market, but some people do. And my sister, she's on here and she'll tell you, she's a niche market. Because of the fact that you didn't bring up Kris on the date you did. The fact that I didn't bring up Kris on the date you did, please. Yeah, on the date that me and Stacy had, that you didn't bring up Kris. I'm kind of confused by the question. The date that me and Stacy had, I didn't know Stacy. They just said somebody was coming over to my house for lunch, and then they kind of let me know, and it was Stacy, and we were just kind of talking. I was trying to really get to know her and her situation with her kids, and just kind of how her family structure moved. That was mostly our whole conversation was about her family. You started talking. Okay, yeah. I brought up chrysanthemum during our date with Stacy because it was basically in a situation where, I was letting Stacy know, I'm talking to your friend, chrysanthemum. I'm interested with her. You guys are kind of, are already friends. And I don't want to try to date two friends at the same time. So I have to make a choice. And I made it. That's basically what that was. Somebody said niche market means limited. Not limited. It means limited to what you want. Basically, like I said it towards Kris. And Kris is the guy that's into the stars and the moons, and he's serious about it. That's just him. He loves that. And he might not be for everybody. Kris might not be the type of guy that you could put 20 women around there and he's going to have direct in commonship with all 20 women. It might be one or two that really he vibe with. He's like, man, she's into the atmosphere, she's into the energy, all that stuff matches with it. And that's what he looks for. And he probably has 2,000 women in his inbox that's into the same thing. So I'm not worried about Kris and his dating. He's a good person. I'm a believer. I have faith. If she would have asked me to go I didn't like that line that Tommy said when he was like, oh, you had to deal with this every Sunday. That's a lie. If Alexis wanted to go to church every Sunday, I would go to church every Sunday. If she wanted to pray over every meal, I would pray with my woman over every meal. I have no problem doing that. So that's a lie. I've been to church. I have nothing against it. Like I said, I had a bad experience at the church I was at, but I was open to going to others and things of that nature. Greg, you have to be open to experience. If you are scared, you don't feel comfortable experiencing, that it's hard to date. That's my sister speaking. She's letting y'all know. Yeah, it's a lot to do with the God religion things. A lot to do with your actions. I was from our dad raised us as saying, like, we had somebody in the family that needed prayer. My dad would say, hey, send your auntie a prayer and send a little money while you do that too. You know what I mean? Because she needs some money and she needs some prayer. You got to take care of people with action and with their spirituality. You need to uplift the whole person, I feel. Is looking for that. Michelle Obama and Alexis can give me that first. What I can do for me. That is a low blow coming from a place of ego or defensiveness. And I get the Michelle Obama comment. I remember. I think I remember mentioning that. I think that's just a metaphor for a woman working with a woman. Like Michelle and Obama works well together, and that's all I want. I just want to work well with a woman. I want my partner to work well with me. It's one thing to like each other. It's one thing to have a good time. It's one thing to have a friendship. But how do y'all work? How do y'all build together? Do y'all have a good working relationship? Into it with them, and when you're dealing with producers, they're not regular men. Like, you know what I mean? When you're talking to a regular guy and y'all squash it out, you think everything is squashed. Like, okay, we got to understanding. With them, they're petty. So they'll be like, oh no, everything's fine. And then they'll just screw your edit up. or they'll target you and go straight for you. And I'm not gonna give away all the tea, but even when it comes to like the reunion, I mean, they damn near put me in the hospital. I mean, it was a bad situation dealing with production, to the point where it destroyed my whole experience. And I wish I never did this show. I'll be honest with you. I love my castmates, and they were the best part that came from it, but production did me wrong, and I can never forgive it. But with the editing, I mean, you just got to read between the lines. They're trying to push narratives. You know, you get it. It's for entertainment. But I mean, you could tell, like on that last episode when everything was so clipped. Like I'm not having a full conversation. I'm just saying one word here and two words here and three words here that is chopped up and it's put together a certain way to make you feel something different. That's just editing. You can see through it. I thought their editing would be a little better. It has not been this season. But yeah, when you don't see a full conversation and you see somebody just say this and say that, and then you see like the music drop and then you see another person's facial expression. That's all pieced together. That's editing to make you feel a certain type of way. But I mean, we're all grown adults. We know it's entertainment. We know it's TV. We know some of it's real, some of it's not. But what I didn't know was how low that some people would go to get that outcome that they want for the TV show. And that's what it's all about. It's not about you. It's not about love. It's about that finished product. and the ratings and things of that nature, and that's their job. You know what I mean? They have a job to do. And I thought I was just there dating. I was naive. I didn't know it was that serious, but it is, right? But I'm here now. I really believe Texas way is different from Georgia as well. I always like the comparison between Atlanta and Houston. I heard Atlanta was bad with dating. Somebody could chime in, but I thought, you got all those black professionals and them pretty women, and I see good guys there. I don't know why they can't get together for marriage.
Hi guys, so Ron went live this week. I don't know if all of the casts are going live. I've only seen lives from, a couple people like Kyra and Kris and David. David's son is graduating from high school, so I doubt highly that he's going to say anything this week. If he may say something getting close when we get closer to the next episode, which is coming on Friday. To me, this is just my opinion. David definitely makes the show because he just got too much stuff going on. He got a lot of stuff going on and off the show. But anyway, so Ron is pretty much, to me, this is just my take on his live. He's just trying to explain how he's coming off on this show. Now, I feel like David, Ron, and Dietrich, which and Dietrich isn't there, no longer there, but they kind of gave me a little hothead energy, right? Like if they could kind of flip up to some other stuff, and so I'm not surprised to hear that he's kind of going at it maybe with producers or what have you. And it also made me think back to a statement that Stacy made in her interview with Crystal and on her channel, that she got into it with one of the guys, and people were asking her if it was David, and she said no. So I'm starting to think it was Ron, because he sounds like he's stating that something went on as well where he was concerned, and then the producers kind of had it in for him, after that. And so now we do understand with editing, they are editing the show the way that they're editing to keep people interested in the show. We may not necessarily agree with it. Like I didn't agree with that whole Tressa stuff about her weight. They kind of made it look like that, like so people could think that, but that wasn't really what was going on. Because she wasn't that interested in any of those guys either. So that has nothing to do with her appearance. And so I think people kind of wanted to make it that, however, for whatever reason, just because she was a little thicker than some of the other women there, because some of those women are as thick as she was, they're just taller than her. But I digress. I'm not calling nobody anything. I'm just stating the facts. And so, but back to Ron, he's just kind of explaining how the editing is kind of making him come off away, and then he made this whole statement about niche market, and a lot of people, grabbed onto him making that statement towards Kris. And like I said in my last, I'm going to put that video back up as well. It's me over here on a new channel. But anyway, he was saying, that he's a niche market kind of guy, and then he tries to explain that, which people know what you mean when you're saying that you're saying that he is into one kind of girl or one look, or he, or whatever it is. But most people have a preference. If that's what you guys say anyway, then most of you guys have preferences. So what makes you any different than Kris with all of that? And I think for me, Kris was just explaining why people were saying that Chrysanthemum was their choice to go. And that would make sense in the context of them having that conversation. So for him to come out and say that, it just didn't make sense. It was if he wanted to put up some type of fight for Chrysanthemum, and that's what I'm saying. If you feel some kind of way for her, why did you not pick her? Why pick someone that you thought was going to make it to the end of the show? And that's why I'm saying I feel like most of these guys are just kind of playing the game, to keep themselves there. You could tell that there's no actual connections. I don't really know if there's any connection on this season, to be really honest. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how all of that will play out during the reunion. But let me know what you guys think about what Ron had to say, and I'll put his Instagram name in the description so you can go and watch the entire thing. It's about 33 minutes. Because I don't think he has a YouTube page, but he might have a YouTube page as well. I'm not sure, but I'll put his Instagram in the description. Let me know what you guys thought about the X Factor, the last episode of Ready to Love, and I'll see you in the next video.